So Harry Kane went off injured after 7 minutes of the FA Cup clash with Millwall, which has prompted fears, questions, etc., etc. The one we've gone with for this show is, will Spurs be fucked without Harry Kane? I mean, who better to talk to about this than Flav?
James. No.
Look, it goes without saying, I think, really, that if you take the top goal scorer out of any team, they wouldn't be as good as they are with him in there. But I genuinely think, looking at Spurs, he is so important to what you guys do that I think you would struggle more than most in the absence of a player of that quality.
Yeah, as you say, anyone would. You don't win the league without a top draw striker. Man United don't qualify for the Champions League without Ibrahimovic. You know, you took Suarez out of your team and you saw what happened. It set you back a couple of seasons. So yeah, all right, we are going to struggle to some extent without Kane. I think at home we'll be fine. I think defensively, we're the best defence in the league at home. I think we might even be the best defence in the league in total. Joint top with Chelsea.
Yeah, 20 goals.
And we've won convincingly against teams in the lower half when they've come to Tottenham. In fact, everyone always says, the team didn't turn up at White Hart Lane, but that consistently happens. So I'm not sure what the deciding factor here is, other than it could be Tottenham's performance. But we don't need to score 4 or 5 in a home game to beat a team. We're not going to be any weaker defensively. If we can nick 1 or 2 goals, then we should do enough to finish in the Champions League. But yeah, it genuinely does. It does affect things. Then you look at the back three behind that. You've got Ali on 16 goals, Son on 14, Eriksen on 10, and he's got 12 assists.
On that piece of paper, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
I couldn't remember exactly how many he's got. You know, there's goals there. Ali scored 3 more than the entire Middlesbrough team. 3 less, rather. So, look, there are goals there. Janssen scored a goal from open play against Millwall.
Yeah. So he's going to kick on.
And it was class. I don't think he will kick on. He probably won't play in the Premier League again as long as Son's fit.
So Son will play
up top on his
central.
own. Yeah. And, you know, without Harry Kane, we beat Man City convincingly at home. Our home form isn't the worry. It is away. But yeah, look, Harry Kane he's brilliant. He's 10 times better than I ever thought he was going to be. His form this season, specifically in the last 6 or 7 games, it meant that, you know, he should be considered one of the best strikers in Europe. I sometimes can't quite figure out how.
Well, we were talking about this off camera.
Technique.
I can't figure it out. Why? Because he's not very tall. He's not fast. He's not particularly skillful. He is so like all of it. I don't get. Whenever I watch him, I've seen him score goals against Liverpool, and he's obviously got that predatory instinct or whatever you want to call it. But I said before, if he played for Liverpool, he would be terrible for us because it's like he doesn't tear around into people.
There's 2 things. There's one. His relationship with Ali is incredible. Yeah. they play so well together. Ali is essentially plays in a 3-4-3, or just behind him in the 10 role in the other formation that we play. But he runs consistently in the box, enable Kane to split off. And their understanding together is impeccable, and they really do complement each other. And it'd be interesting to see how Ali performs without Kane. But what he does well, in his shooting technique, is probably one of the best I've seen in a Spurs shirt. I'd say him and Jermaine Defoe are kind of a similar ilk in terms of the way they connect the ball. If he hits a target, he generally scores. His reading of the game in the box, he's always in the right position. And in the last 18 months, he's become actually quite a cultured player when he's spraying the ball around. He's much better on the ball than people give him credit for. It's just that when you look at him sometimes, he manages to keep hold of the ball despite it sort of bouncing off his knees and shins. It's almost like...
That's a skill, though.
Yeah.
Some great players have had that over the years.
Ronaldo had that, didn't he? The original Ronaldo, Chris, we used to call him like bundle, and Clive had it as well. It is, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you go into a challenge, it's like this innate understanding of where the ball's going to bounce to, and Kane's got it. You know, I remember when Kane came into the league, I was one of the ones who said I think he'll do this for a long time, and I think it was the Bet Victor stuff as well. We did a year or so ago when I was talking about it, because it's his movement in the box for me. It's his it's his spatial awareness. It's how we find space, and it's exactly what we don't have at Liverpool. Roberto Firmino's really good for us, but when teams are sitting back and you're looking for someone to understand the position that they're playing. Like, to find half a yard in the penalty area, that's a commodity that's very, very, very difficult to find in a striker, and Kane can do that because he's been doing that all throughout his career. Whereas what Firmino has, he's an attacking midfielder that's converted to a striker. He doesn't have that understanding of, well, the defender's going to do this is where the space is going to be. Exactly, and he's so quick of mind when he's in those tight spaces that I love watching him play. I think he's a cracking player, like, and I don't look, he's not the fastest player in the world, but he knows where the target is, and he always, when I see him, he always seems to work the keeper, and that's a fucking good thing. Kevin De Bruyne does that. Whenever he takes a shot, he always works the keeper. He always tries to put it on target, whereas I think, you know, there's players in the league who waste too many opportunities, and I never get the impression that Kane wastes opportunities.
The Spurs coaching team said that Kane's development up to the age of 19, 20 wasn't where they wanted it to be, but they saw in his work ethic and his willingness to stay behind and train, you know, the first in, last out, all that kind of cliche stuff, that there's something in him that means that, you know, we got to just keep the faith. He's working hard enough to earn his place in there. And as it turned out, that, you know, technique is you teach yourself technique. You can be born with a certain something, but technique and the drive and willingness is about character. And Kane has that in abundance. And, you know, I
think he's concentrated on. There's a way of coaching called strengths-based coaching. So you can say a golfer is rubbish at chipping, but he's great at hitting a drive. Don't concentrate on working on getting your weakness better. Just be even better at the thing that you're good at, and then you don't have to worry about chipping because you're already on the green or whatever. And so for Kane, he's not. You say he's not big. He's not overly skillful. He's not overly quick. But what he probably was really good at a young age was being that predator. So with that work ethic that you're talking about, if he concentrates on his strength, and this isn't a strength of being able to ping a ball 70 yards and make a great pass, it's the most important strength there is in football. So that's almost enough, isn't it? Yeah. And he's now getting better at all the other bits. But yeah, that's why this conversation happens, is that you go, is he? Well, but he's not really great at that or that or that. But the thing that's most important.
But he's great at this. He's great at putting it in the back of the net.
That's the thing. You look at the other top strikers in the Premier League, and I'd say he's not got Lukaku's pace. He's slower than Lukaku. He's not got the bullishness of a Diego Costa. He's not got the all-round class of a Sergio Aguero. And so you go through like the stat of you imagine like a football manager pack for him, and you're almost thinking like, well, what if he's 20 for that? What is Kane for that? Well, he's probably 15 for that. And you start to and I just have this mental picture of Harry Kane as a stat pack is just 15s all over the place, but you know, maybe you're finishing whatever, but it's genuinely incredible. I keep on it. It's just that whatever it is, it works. And my only thing with Harry Kane, I genuinely didn't think. I thought he'd do a thing where he had a really good season and then he'd get figured out, because unless you've got electric pace or you are an absolute twat like Costa, it is difficult. You know what I mean? It's difficult to rise above what's being thrown your way. So he's like a miracle to me. Like I say, I don't understand how he does it, but. Yeah. Let's hope he's injured so he can't do it anymore.
Well, I guess no one has to understand, but 30 goals a season, if he comes back from injury, he's going to get 30 goals again this season. That's free on the bounce. You can't buy that.
But say he's not then. Has Pochettino completely fucked up here by not getting a striker that he knows can do it? And not even that. Janssen, okay, look, you buy a striker, he scored a load of goals in Holland, and you think, oh, okay, great. You've only got one other striker. Yeah. Surely you should have bought someone else.
No, we don't. We have Son, who's a striker as well. He can play forward. He scores goals. We can play. We were never going to go out in January and buy another striker. We gambled, as you do with all transfers, to buy Janssen. We've got a stadium to build. You can't. What's that? You've got to spend another 100 grand, £150,000 on a new striker when you've already got Janssen and should have protested. Yeah, maybe fly one of those things over. Janssen, shit, you pricks.
Planes.
Yeah, planes.
Is that what you'd put?
What did I say?
One of those things.
Yeah. I was not thinking about the thing that tailed it. But look, Pochettino. Look, we made a mistake in the summer by buying Sissoko and Janssen and spending that money. When you think 45 million. Combined, we could have bought a really good striker to back up Kane. But if Kane doesn't get injured, then that guy sits on the bench. So it's hard to manage it and to figure out the right thing to do in that situation. Pochettino's come out and said, "Look, it looks bad. It looks like it's what he did at Sunderland, which kept him out for 7 weeks. Yeah. If it is, then it's Pochettino's job now. Everyone rates him as a great manager. I rate him as a great manager. find the solution within the playing staff that we've got.
Yeah.
And that's what he has. So either we are fucked or we ain't. That's it. And Pochettino's skill will prove one or the other. We could be both.
All this calm conversation aside, this is Spurs, right?
Yeah.
You've looked really good, right? You're scoring loads of goals. All these facts,
Arsenal
right?
are imploding.
Are you've got to be deep down when you take off the layers. You've got to be shitting it a little bit that it's starting to happen again.
How long have you been waiting to say this?
5 minutes. No, but let's get to the truth of it.
Look, there is two things. One, yes, obviously.
Take off the mask, Black.
And as a fatalist.
When he went over and he went like that, I was like,
what's he trying to say?
Please no, stretch it. Please no, don't do this again. Don't like we do need him, and don't let it happen again. And then you think
because it's bang on, innit? 10 games to go.
Yeah,
it's
like
happening.
it is. And worse. Listen,
he's fucking loving it.
Worse than that, right? Is we
it?
could draw Arsenal in the semi-final of the FA Cup, which means we'd have to do that without him.
Or just put it out there, it might kind of go wrong a bit, and then you might get them in the final.
Yeah, I don't know if my heart could take play.
What would you
Wenger's firing shot as he leaves Arsenal to beat Tottenham in a cup final.
What would you rather?
What's his entire Arsenal career will be remembered for that.
I'm shitting it, but I'm trying to be a pragmatist.
There's no sense in
I couldn't. What you just said, like imagine if Arsenal beat us in the penultimate game at White Hart Lane and then beat us in the
so
FA
Man
Cup
United.
final. I'd kill myself.
Arsenal are now beat you in the cup final, are the last team to win at White Hart Lane ever, because you beat Manchester United a week later.
Can we put
and you Spurs it up.
Can I have one more question? Would you rather Arsenal finish above you in the league, or you beat them in the cup final? You can only have one.
Is it 26 years?
Yeah.
It's a long time. As a Liverpool fan, we know how long that is, because it's 27 since we won the league.
Let us know in the comments below. I don't know.
I want to gauge the audience on this one, because obviously we saw Jason Cked did a sensational job following Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV the other week. Give this video a like. If this video gets over 1,000 likes, then we will have a crew follow Flav for those two. If that happens, for the penultimate game with Arsenal and for a subsequent FA Cup final against them.
Does Craig really count as a crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Craig will follow Flav for 1,000 likes.
Okay, 2,000 likes.
5,000.
2,500 likes. And we'll follow Flav for any remaining Spurs Arsenal games between now and the end of the season. Come hell or high water.
Just don't worry about Tottenham, you lot, all right? Just mind your own bloody business.
I know you were talking before and you threw the stats out about Ali and Son and Eriksen and all the goals that they've got. They don't score as many goals without Kane in the side. Simple fact, defences worry about Kane. You know, and it's such a fucking massive thing, because Kane can occupy two centre-backs. No one's worrying about Son. Like, they're just not, you know, they're then able to focus on Dele Alli and stuff.
Potentially, Chris. More fool them. He could be.
He's taking his glasses off. He's fucking angry here.
I looked at Craig when he was talking there, and he just went. He's right, you know.
I feel like I need to poke myself in the eye. I feel like glasses are the in thing. No, it'd be interesting to know, obviously, as you say, any team will struggle. In the absence of a top quality centre forward, how do we feel Spurs will cope in the absence of Harry Kane?
Vincent Janssen arrives.
Well, it could be.
He arrives.
He could go from being Kesman to Van Nistelrooy overnight.
He's got 27 goals in the Eredivisie in last year. 27.
In the last 6 months of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, so he knows how to find the net.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just pity you don't play in Holland.
Yeah.
That boy couldn't find his.
It's just not fucking fair. It is not fair.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know.
It's not fucking fair. Why does this keep happening?
We're going to be back.
Yes, he cracked it.
We're going to be back later this week
done,
with more
James.
Social Club. We're going to answer your questions on Ask the Club, and we're going to be working through the greatest Premier League 11 of all time this week. It's holding midfielders.